So Twitch viewers, if you're on my Twitch right here and you scroll down, you can click on my all other links button, which will take you to my beacons page, which this should be changed, but that's not Ignis got Isekai anymore. If you click on that, it's Ignis Slop. It is slop content. It is shit that comes out twice a week. I have privated old videos, so now only like the good ones are on there. Before I click on any of the links that I have, let me just double check something real fast. Because when I was putting that document together with all the links and everything, the Deme stuff was still pretty fresh. So I want to see if there's anything, see if there's a more comprehensive video. Oh no, it's just all Rev. Okay, no, it's all the same stuff. Okay. I know exactly what we're watching. You guys don't know the order we're watching, but I do. So we're gonna start with this one though. I'm gonna start with the Deme stuff. That's not what the fuck. There we go. That's what I wanted to do.
Hey, what's up guys, Ruff here. So it appears we're adding yet another chapter to the Deme related situation. In my last video talking about this, I said it's unlikely that Deme herself is going to keep this going. Instead, it's going to be outsiders.
Surprisingly, she kept it going for 7 videos worth of content, Rev.
Fanning the flames and keeping this thing going. And she can thank Muujin for doing just that with his 1-hour YouTube video talking about the situation. And in his self-described objective,
I'm not turning it up any more than that. There's no way.
He includes a fake screenshot of Chibi. He also admits very important details that explain why Deme is a hypocrite, the main reason people are criticizing her, and also on top of that, the main focus of the video, nearly 40 minutes of it, is talking about the plappening and whether or not there was extracurricular activities going on in one of her
I'm sorry, I can't wait. So basically, Muujin used the fake tweet that Deme used, and then covered nothing. It covered nothing other than trying to prove that she is not a fucking don't sexualize me. Retweets the sexualized images. Now the whole we're gonna wait.
Streams. That is the focus he chose, and people are responding as such in the comments section, thinking that's the reason everyone's talking about this.
Wow, this is worthless.
Pretty much he's doing anything in his power to run defense for Deme. He has a history of this.
Yeah, basically,
if you put a woman into the situation he's covering, he seems to have very biased coverage, and it's happening yet again with this situation. So here's Muujin. He makes
I also just love how insane he looks in his profile picture. You look like you're trying to stir the pot.
videos talking about various...
Do you see, the only reason you see just the face is because down below it's literally stirring the cauldron.
Drama. And with this whole Deme situation, he saw this starting point and focused largely on the whole stream situation involving her.
In case, but it probably could go into the whole thing, but just this is how the whole thing started. Just a reminder, I'm extremely uncomfortable with not safe for work or for me, but why did you make your VTuber look like that? Just because I like sexy things or hot things doesn't mean I want to see porn of it. It's just a VTuber. Who do you see when you think of it? I'm hot take right now. Maybe, possibly base take. We'll find out. Not everybody, but a large portion of the VTuber community has some not safe for work elements to it. There's not safe for work fan art drawing. There's stuff that the creator themselves makes. It's like I said, not everybody. There are some safe for work people out there, but she definitely leans more in the direction of not safe for work, but then tweets shit like this and then retweets the Gooner fan art. Open Deme's Twitter. I'm gonna open Twitter off screen. The best choice he's ever made. Deme art. I don't want to click that. And honestly, I don't think I want to. Okay. Hang on. Hold on. Okay, this one's kind of safe. That one's safe. I guess you could consider that safe. To be honest, it's because of her model, but a lot of the art is just like, oh, well, there you go. There you go. I'm glad this isn't on screen. Retweeting every single art. Again, it's the way it's the way their models are. Like it's like that's the way the art ends up like that most of the time, but some of it is a little bit more on the degenerate side. Like I said, I'm not flaming everybody. I'm getting off of her Twitter now. Okay, back to this
situation we're talking about, but also changing the physical nature. It's basically the essentially it's a cosplay for a VTuber. It's a VTuber's version of cosplaying as a character. Of course.
Oh, this is the wrong video. I was on the wrong thing. I was watching another Red video before the stream started.
Her. Now, in his covers,
Oops.
you can see right from the thumbnail, that is the exact sort of message he is trying to send. But in it, he makes the same mistake that Deme made. In his video, at least the original version of it, he included a fake screenshot from Chibi Reviews, a fake tweet that Deme originally posted in one of her crash outs, where it says, "Went to Walmart today and saw some cute lollies, which honestly made my day," trying to paint him as some sort of a predator. Now, of course, Mugen would have to edit that out after backlash, realizing it was a fabricated tweet. Now, this is the real tweet in question, just to specify. He was talking about a baby kangaroo being held in Walmarts. Now, of course, this was so egregious that even Deme would edit her tweet to remove the inclusion of that screenshot, but Mugen learned literally nothing. Like, it's actually pretty shocking he would include that, because either...
What was the last controversy Mugen got into? Was it when was it? Oh, it was the whole Sykkuno thing. I think bro just needs to quit yapping, to be honest.
Either A, at worst, he included to be malicious and paint him as some sort of a predator, or B, he didn't do his research whatsoever, because as a part of the timeline of events, you have a very serious one where Deme posted that
about and Sykkuno,
and even updated her tweets to remove it and didn't want to spread misinformation. Now, calling people a predator willy-nilly is nothing new to Mugen. In fact, with the whole disaster that was his coverage of the Sykkuno situation,
there it is,
in this now deleted video that got over 2 million views, he labeled Sykkuno as a predator. Now, that wasn't based on any harm to children this guy was doing. It was because he was a serial cheater. And unfortunately for Mugen, he took the word of this e-girl Himomo, who made this Google Doc that has over 40 million views, where they labeled him not only as a serial cheater, but as a dangerous predator. The same rhetoric we saw in the video where he covered this Google Doc. Now, anybody looking at this Google Doc on a first glance would know how glaring the issues were with it, and we saw all the people involved with it and all the extra stories that came out of this and the women who stepped forward to share their experiences. It all fell apart. In fact, Himomo herself released in the Google Doc a Discord conversation with Sykkuno when she knew the girlfriend was crying in the other room after discovering all the cheating, and she tried to get with him. She wouldn't let him go. And when he rejected her, shortly after she released her Google Doc. In fact, Mugen would have a multi-day crash out on Twitter where he simply couldn't say, "I'm sorry," and be genuine about it. Isn't that ironic given the situation we're talking about? And he would go on a whole
typical content creator type shit.
People were criticizing him for labeling someone as a predator so willy-nilly. In fact, even Deme would call him out. In the replies of one of his crash outs on Powder for criticizing him and questioning his bias and his reliability as a narrator, Deme would say, "Mugen, take a step back. What she said wasn't even unreasonable or a personal attack." Personal attack, interesting. "You rage baited yourself in this one. It's fair, in my opinion, to criticize the usage of dangerous predator in the post. You should know better as well. You know what it's trying to imply." So even Deme called out Mugen for this sort of vocabulary, and here he is again sharing a very clearly fake screenshot to,
and then doesn't take a step back, continues doubling down and making bad take content.
paint Chibi as some kind of a predator And either through his own malicious behavior or his incredible lack of research, he shared that and tried to paint another dangerous set of labels to the person he's covering in his video.
No,
and of course,
James.
his response to all of the backlash was to release an apology video about the Psychono situation, which he would delete after a week. And he would also kind of coast into the sunset, saying, well, still millions of people enjoy my videos, so whatever. Humble flex, which of course Deme is no stranger to flexing on people on the internet. But also in his pinned comment, he also says that lolly represents underage characters, and he corrects himself saying the technical definition is underage looking characters. It's no surprise that a normie like Mugen wouldn't even understand what he's talking about in a tweet or a fake tweet that he's using to attack someone. And also this guy's head would roll if he actually figured out what that term meant, or he came across a character like Rebecca from Cyberpunk, which is a
the lolly must stay. You don't understand.
folly, which completely crushes his narrative. But that's not too surprising given the fact that just about 2 weeks ago he had a crash out on Twitter where he was somewhat agreeing with and also trying to dunk on Asmongold over his
It's always ironic when Rev's talking about lollies. It's true, but everyone's an anime girl on the internet nowadays, so...
It's involving Eevee from Stellar Blade. And also in Mugen's video about the Deme situation, he talks about this video from the Internet Anarchist, a proven plagiarist who made a video about chibi reviews, which ironically enough included a fake screenshot at the beginning of the video, which was also edited out. And when Mugen is describing this video, he describes the high volume of dislikes and negative comments as brigading, his words, brigading by chibi reviews, seemingly under his direction, not genuine feedback to a horrible video that initially started with slander and also followed by crash outs on Twitter by the same person. No, it was...
No, see, James, because you've changed your profile picture on Discord. You are no longer 343 Guilty Spark. You are now Stardust Dragon. Stardust Synchron. Sorry.
All brigading. It wasn't actual criticism. It was all brigading. But when it came to Deme and the reaction people were having to Chibi, anything that came his way in the situation was just backlash because he's a controversial person and he picked a fight and all of that. It's a very interesting dichotomy where he's basically saying anything Chibi does is brigading, anything that happens to him is just, well, par for the course. But of course, in the video, he spends the second most amount of time talking about all of the stuff that Chibi has gone through, including the situation with his ex-fiance who cheated on him. He goes through the grueling details of all these low moments in his life. And I guess that is
she's trying to hit the space bar
for Deme's response to his hypocrisy criticism given her art standard, where she brought up that his fiance cheated on him and then she laughed about it. And at no point ever.
Let me laugh at you, but don't laugh at me about my stuff. You laugh at me, you're a bigot and a creep and a weirdo. But I'm gonna laugh at you when you suffer. What is she doing? Are you hanging out? Are you chilling? Hold on, I gotta... She's chilling. She's hanging out. Oh, she's becoming a bracelet. Slowly. Okay, she's just gonna live on my wrist now for the rest of this. That's cool.
Does Mugen talk about Deme's relationship and the fact that she took back a guy that she alleged physically and verbally abused her? Now,
stabbed her or slashed her.
Bring that up just to get a dunk on Deme. It was because of the hypocrisy, not only bringing up low moments, but low moments involving a relationship. And when it comes to Deme's situation, she has routinely shamed anyone who wants to bring up her low moments with her relationship. Mugen never shares anything about this. This is like the crux of why people are criticizing her and calling her a hypocrite. How can you make an hour-long video and not include any of this. It just shows an incredible amount of bias, and it's incredible to miss. It really is. If this guy thinks he's taking an objective look at the situation, this is a pretty awful way to do so. But of course, when it comes to Deme, another thing he doesn't talk about very much is the apology. He reads the tweet but doesn't really harp on the fact that she calls him a piece of crap multiple times and clearly doesn't feel too sorry, especially given the fact she ran to her echo chamber on Discord and said the apology wasn't even for Chibi in the first place. But he also doesn't bring up her history of hypocrisy when it comes to accountability and genuineness and apologies, which she would launch against people like Cinder, mocking her attempt at accountability.
Don't bring her up again.
Saying it's not genuine and that you need to basically do better, right? It's incredibly hypocritical. This response would be a great response to her apology or non-apology.
There she goes. There she goes. She's leaving. Okay, Sybil, you're making me nervous. Sybil, that's enough. That's enough. You don't need to go that far away from me on there. This little goob. That's a fucking toad on my monitor. Oh, fuck. Oh, okay, back to this, sorry.
To Chibi. So instead of focusing on the main criticism, which is the hypocrisy, he spends about 40 minutes of his video talking about the plappening, whatever you want to call it. I know it's a bit of a meme. It's a debate about whether or not she actually was doing something with her boyfriend or anyone on stream. And
I don't know.
As I have stated, I don't really care if it happened or not. Nobody really knows for sure. The only reason why I've even brought that up is because of context, because she would respond very, very routinely to people bringing up this possible scenario, and she tried to divert the narrative over to that instead of the hypocrisy and mean girl behavior. And guess what Mugen does? He sweeps for her. He does the same thing. He focuses largely on this, and it's reflected in the top comments talking about the getting railed on stream part is a litmus test for the terminally online. That is the majority of the comments. They're talking about that situation, not the hypocrisy, because the hypocrisy was never given to them, and that was seemingly intentional. How else do you explain this situation? And also, just look at these comments.
I just find it funny, like Grev says, yeah, I'm a bitch. I've been this way. You should expect this. But the second that, she's getting criticism for that shit. But then the second she starts getting criticized for possibly getting railed on stream, that's when she's like, no, nah, not me. No, I don't like not safe for work content. I'm non-sexual. I don't do that. You're proven hypocrisy as we fucking speak. As I sit here with a snake like a villain.
He's an ICE supporter. That's all I need to hear. Oh boy, the virtue signaling is very strong in this comment section as well. But of course, Mugen would post this onto Twitter, and he's getting absolutely bodied. There's proposed notes, and he's getting 300 likes versus 300 comments, and almost all of the comments are dunking on him, saying another garbage
Snake
video
stream.
full of misinformation, fake tweet, and another proof
Snake reaction.
that Mugen is incapable of doing thorough fact checks. I'm guessing he's going to glaze Deme in this video and crap on Chibi. We all know you can't fact check after the Psychono drama. Stop embarrassing yourself. You want to be third-rate journalist. Objective, dude.
Want to be third-rate journalist? You just got J. Jonah Jameson. God damn. J. Jonah Jameson just reaming Peter Parker is what that sounded like.
You're one of the least objective ones here, objectively. Deme hates not safe for work post. Deme reposts not safe for work post. Chibi Review says it's hypocritical. Deme, oh wow, you got cucked. LOL. That's the drama. Of course,
basically
ignoring the layers of hypocrisy, but yeah, it's not really the focus shouldn't be on the whole stream situation. That was not why this all blew up so
You're a third-rate journalist with a fourth-rate blog. Seto Kaiba, come on down.
Quickly, it was the crash outs, the hypocrisy of Deme. That's what was the real focus here. And this person says, doesn't realize the drama started because she was making fun of a guy being cheated on. That almost led to an attempt. She made an apology that wasn't an apology while also crap talking him more. And in her Discord says the apology
The gears are already turning for an edit to make with that.
wasn't for him and only
This is supposed to be non-editing channel. Fuck you. What are you doing to me?
for her mental. Chibi calls her a virtue signaler like it was the smallest of things that lit the match, but she literally obviously poured gasoline on a bonfire and lit it because she got very mad very fast over one person when many others were calling her a hypocrite. And I think that is a great explanation of really what happened here and the lack of information provided by Mugen in his coverage. It was omitting the most crucial details while including fake tweets. Like, it's terrible coverage. Like, this guy sat on this for a week. He waited until the narrative has been painted, or at least the narrative he thought was out there, and his coverage is a disaster. How do you have that fake tweet? How do you leave out the core hypocrisy of the situation? He is literally sweeping for Deme in this situation, whether that was his intention or the product of just bad research on this. I don't really know. I don't really care because that was the product. He has ran with a narrative.
Don't call me a hypocrite. I'm not a hypocrite. And I'm definitely not sorry, it might be a little bit extreme, but basically is the argument. Girl?
Look much better and omits the most
She's touching the space bar
of this situation that drew her the criticism in the first place. I'm not too surprised at this point that
Mugen, as a drama tuber with 1 million followers, I do that every day.
That Mugen is fumbling the ball and feeling very free to put in very serious stuff into his video that ultimately turns out either fake or incredibly disingenuous, but here we are. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing and turning on notifications for daily uploads as well as multiple streams a week live here on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
So yeah, the Deme situation was crazy, insane, wild. I don't think there's been any updates than that. I don't know.